My name is Dr. Hiroshi Tanaka, and I'm a Japanese physician who has spent over 40 years studying the hidden connections between food and women's health. Let me begin with a story. Just last year, a 50-year-old woman came into my clinic in Tokyo. She had been diagnosed with early breast cancer, and like so many others, she felt powerless, terrified of what the future might hold. Instead of drowning her in medical terms or only pills, I asked her a simple question: what are you eating every single out? Because what we place on our plate is not just food, it is medicine, or it is poison. Over the next months, I guided her towards specific fruits and vegetables that Japanese women have relied on for generations to reduce inflammation, support hormones, and strengthen natural defenses. Within a year, not only did her scans improve, but her energy and confidence returned. That experience is why today I want to speak directly to you, especially if you are a woman over 50 in America. Wondering what you can do right now to protect yourself and your loved ones. In this video, I will reveal 10 powerful fruits and 10 healing vegetables that research and tradition show can help lower your risk of breast cancer. And in the second part, I will expose the 10 fruits and vegetables you must avoid if you truly want to stay safe. If you are serious about your health, I ask you to stay with me until the end, because what you learn today may completely change the way you look at every bite you take. When I guide my patients, I never simply hand them a list of foods. Instead, I explain why each fruit matters, so every bite feels like an act of healing rather than a restriction. So let us begin with the first 5 fruits that I ask women over 50 to embrace daily if they want to protect themselves from breast cancer. The first fruit is blueberries. These tiny blue pearls are more than just sweet. They are a shield. In Japan, we call them the eyes of the forest, because they protect not only vision but also cellular health. Blueberries are packed with anthocyanins, compounds that fight oxidative stress, the very stress that can lead to damaged DNA and tumor growth. I remember one of my American patients telling me she used to sprinkle sugar over her morning cereal. I asked her to replace that sugar with a handful of blueberries. In 3 months, her blood markers for inflammation were already down. A small switch, but one with massive impact. The second fruit is pomegranates. In ancient Persia, they were called the fruit of life, and modern science is now catching up. Pomegranates contain ellagic acid and special polyphenols that help regulate estrogen activity in the body, a key factor in breast cancer prevention. I once had a 62-year-old woman who feared every glass of milk, every piece of cheese, because she thought all estrogen was her enemy. I told her, estrogen is not your enemy. Imbalance is. And when she began drinking pomegranate juice 3 times a week, her hot flashes calmed, her mood improved, and she felt her body working with her again, not against her. The third fruit is papaya. This tropical fruit may surprise you, but in Japan we often use papaya enzymes to aid digestion, and healthy digestion is one of the first defenses against cancer. Papaya contains papain, folate, and vitamin C, which help sweep away harmful free radicals before they have a chance to damage breast tissue. A 70-year-old woman once told me she avoided papaya because she thought it was too exotic or too sweet. But when she finally tried a simple papaya salad, she found her bloating decreased and her energy rose. Sometimes the foods that feel foreign are exactly the ones that can rescue us. The fourth fruit is apples. Not just any apples, but whole apples with their skin. In Japanese tradition, we say, an apple carries the strength of one tree because the peel holds protective compounds called quercetin and pectin. Quercetin reduces inflammation, while pectin supports gut bacteria, the hidden army that regulates immunity and even influences cancer risk. One American woman, age 55, once told me she always peeled her apples because she thought the skin was dirty. I reminded her that when washed well, the skin is where nature hides her medicine. She laughed and said, "So I've been throwing away the best part for 30 years. The fifth fruit is grapes, especially the dark purple or red varieties. Grapes carry resveratrol, a compound that protects the heart, balances estrogen, and slows cancer cell growth in lab studies, but in my practice, I see grapes doing something even more important. They give women hope. I ask them to freeze grapes and eat them as snacks instead of cookies. It satisfies the sweet tooth while secretly guarding the breast tissue. A 59-year-old teacher once told me, "Doctor, I thought my sweet cravings would kill me, but now grapes save me instead of harming me." Yeah, that transformation of perspective is as important as the nutrition itself. The sixth fruit is cherries. In Japan, cherry blossoms are a symbol of renewal, but the fruit itself holds deep healing potential. Cherries are rich in antioxidants and melatonin, helping reduce inflammation and supporting healthy sleep. Why is this important? Because poor sleep raises cortisol, and cortisol imbalance can fuel cancer risk. I recall a 68-year-old woman who told me, "Doctor, I sleep only 4 hours a night, and it makes me crazy. I died to try a small bowl of cherries after dinner for 2 weeks." She came back smiling, saying, "For the first time in years, I slept peacefully." Better sleep is not a luxury. It is medicine, and cherries are a natural key. The seventh fruit is kiwi. This small fuzzy fruit is a vitamin C powerhouse, more potent than oranges. In Japan, we call kiwi the little giant because it looks small but carries massive strength. Vitamin C supports immune function, helps collagen repair tissues, and neutralizes free radicals before they can harm breast cells. I once had a patient who said, "Doctor, I don't like pills, but I know I need vitamin C." So I smiled and handed her a kiwi. Sometimes medicine is not a capsule. It is a fruit waiting in your grocery basket. The eighth fruit is strawberries, sweet, red, and loved across the world. But for women over 50, they are not just a treat. They are protection. Strawberries contain ellagic acid, folate, and high levels of antioxidants that help stop cancer cells from multiplying. A 72-year-old widow once told me she felt guilty eating strawberries because she thought sugar in fruit was bad. I explained, nature's sweetness is different from refined sugar. It comes packaged with healing compounds. She later told me, "Doctor, strawberries became my little gift of joy, not guilt." The ninth fruit is oranges and citrus fruits in general. Beyond vitamin C, citrus carries bioflavonoids, compounds that improve circulation, support detoxification, and help regulate hormones. In Japan, it is common to drink hot citrus teas in winter, not just for warmth, but for cleansing the body. I had one American woman who replaced her afternoon soda with freshly squeezed orange water. In just weeks, she noticed less joint pain and her energy no longer crashed in the evening. Citrus cleans the system like spring rain cleans the air. The 10th fruit is avocado. Some may argue it is more of a creamy vegetable, but biologically it is a fruit, and a powerful one. Avocados carry healthy fats, fiber, and plant sterols that help balance hormones and reduce inflammation. For breast cancer prevention, avocados are a quiet giant. One woman told me she avoided fats for years because she thought all fat causes cancer. I explained that the type of fat is what matters. After adding avocado slices to her salad 3 times a week, she said, "Doctor, I feel full but light, strong but calm." That is exactly what the right fat should do. Support, not burden, the body. We've just discovered the 10 fruits that act like daily shields against breast cancer, but now we must step into the real powerhouses of healing, vegetables. And before I begin, let me give you a warning, because in the third part of this video, I will reveal something that may shock you. 10 fruits and vegetables you must avoid if you truly want protection. Many of my patients are stunned when they find out, because some of the foods they thought were healthy were silently harming them. But before that, let us first focus on the vegetables that can truly protect you. The first vegetable is broccoli. In Japan, we call cruciferous vegetables the green warriors, and broccoli is the commander. It contains sulforaphane, a compound that helps deactivate carcinogens and supports the body's natural detox system. I remember a 60-year-old patient who hated broccoli because she only knew it boiled and mushy. I taught her a simple Japanese method, lightly steaming it and adding sesame seeds. She came back saying, "Doctor, broccoli went from punishment to pleasure." Sometimes preparation is the difference between medicine and misery. The second vegetable is spinach, rich in folate, iron, and antioxidants. Spinach nourishes blood and supports cell repair. One of my American patients told me she was constantly tired, thinking it was just age. After adding spinach to her breakfast omelet 3 times a week, her energy lifted and her hair stopped thinning. I told her, spinach is like nature's iron infusion. It strengthens quietly without side effects. The third vegetable is kale. Some women say, Dr. Kale is bitter, I cannot eat it. But bitterness in plants often signals healing power. Kale is packed with calcium, vitamin K, and lutein, all protecting bone and breast tissue. A 55-year-old woman in my clinic once whispered, I thought kale was just for health fanatics. But when she blended it into her fruit smoothie, she smiled and said, Doctor, you tricked me. I love kale now. Sometimes the medicine we resist is exactly the one we need most. The fourth vegetable is carrots. Beyond their bright orange beauty, carrots contain beta-carotene, which the body converts to vitamin A. This helps regulate cell growth and protect tissue from abnormal changes. I recall a 70-year-old Japanese grandmother who ate carrots daily in her miso soup. When asked about her secret to glowing skin even at her age, she simply said, carrots, every day. Sometimes wisdom hides in simplicity. The fifth vegetable is tomatoes, red, juicy, and often underestimated. Tomatoes are rich in lycopene, a powerful antioxidant shown to lower breast cancer risk. But here's a secret. Lycopene becomes stronger when tomatoes are cooked. This is why in Japan we use tomato soups and sauces as medicine in disguise. A 58-year-old woman once told me, Doctor, I replace my creamy pasta sauces with tomato-based ones, and not only do I feel lighter, but my cholesterol dropped. Tomatoes protect not just the heart, but the breast as well. The sixth vegetable is cauliflower. Many people think cauliflower is just pale broccoli, but I tell my patients it is a quiet healer. Cauliflower also belongs to the cruciferous family, carrying compounds that help detoxify estrogen in the body. This is vital because unbalanced estrogen can fuel breast cancer growth. A 63-year-old woman once told me she never ate cauliflower because it looked boring. I taught her to roast it with a touch of olive oil and garlic, and suddenly it became her favorite side dish. Sometimes the foods that look the simplest carry the most protection. The seventh vegetable is Brussels sprouts. Small, bitter, and often hated in childhood. But for women over 50, they are medicine disguised as tiny cabbages. Brussels sprouts are packed with glucosinolates, which help the liver process toxins before they harm breast tissue. I had a patient who laughed when I suggested them, saying, Doctor, my grandchildren hate Brussels sprouts. I told her, that is because they boil them. When she learned to roast them crispy with balsamic vinegar, she said, now even my grandchildren fight me for them. The eighth vegetable is sweet potatoes. In Japan, we call them satsumaimo, and they are not just food, they are tradition. Rich in fiber, vitamin A, and antioxidants, sweet potatoes regulate blood sugar and nourish the gut. This is critical because a healthy gut microbiome helps balance hormones linked to breast cancer. A 70-year-old Japanese woman once told me she eats one roasted sweet potato almost every evening, and she credits it for both her digestion and her mood. The sweetness is nature's comfort without harm. The ninth vegetable is mushrooms, especially shiitake and maitake, which are staples in Japan. Mushrooms contain beta-glucans that strengthen the immune system and compounds that help block estrogen-driven cancer cell growth. I once guided an American woman, age 66, who had never eaten mushrooms because she thought they were just spongy fungus. When she began adding shiitake mushrooms to her soups, she told me, Doctor, I feel like my immune system woke up. Sometimes the food you ignore is the one quietly waiting to protect you. The 10th vegetable is cabbage. This humble leaf has saved countless lives in traditional medicine. Cabbage is full of fiber, indoles, and antioxidants that detoxify estrogen and reduce inflammation. In Japan, it is common to eat raw cabbage with sesame dressing before heavy meals to protect digestion. A 55-year-old patient once told me her mother survived breast cancer and swore by eating cabbage every single day, whether raw, steamed, or in soups. Cabbage is the forgotten soldier of breast health. And let me remind you, what we are building here is not just a list of foods, but a shield, a defense system for your body. But stay with me, because in the next part, we will flip the story I will reveal the 10 fruits and 10 vegetables you must avoid. And I promise, some of them will surprise you. You may even find that one of your healthy favorites is secretly working against you. We have walked through the healing fruits, but now I must tell you the truth that surprises most of my patients. Not every fruit is safe. Some fruits, especially in the way they are grown or processed today, can quietly raise your risks instead of lowering them. Let me share the 10 fruits I recommend women over 50 avoid or eat only with extreme caution when it comes to breast cancer prevention. The first is watermelon, sweet, refreshing, but dangerously high in sugar when eaten in excess. For women with insulin resistance or at risk of breast cancer, that sugar spike fuels inflammation and cellular stress. A 54-year-old woman once told me she ate watermelon every night in summer. When she cut back, her blood sugar normalized within weeks. The second is pineapple. Though rich in enzymes, it is also one of the highest sugar-loaded fruits. Eating pineapple occasionally is fine, but daily consumption can spike blood sugar, feeding cancer cells. Remember, frequency matters as much as portion. The third is bananas, especially overripe bananas. As they ripen, their starch converts fully into sugar, causing blood sugar surges. I often advise my patients to choose firm green-tip bananas if they must eat them. But for women over 50 at higher risk, daily ripe bananas are best avoided. The fourth is mangoes, beloved for their flavor, but one of the richest in fructose. For a healthy young body, this is manageable. But for women after menopause, when metabolism slows, mangoes can overload the liver and promote fat storage around the breasts and abdomen. The fifth is grapes, when eaten as raisins or juice. Fresh grapes in moderation can heal, but concentrated raisins or grape juice are pure sugar bombs without fiber. I once had a 60-year-old woman who replaced soda with grape juice, thinking it was healthy. Her insulin resistance worsened. It was not the grape's fault, it was the form. The sixth is dried fruits in general. Figs, apricots, dates. While natural, they are calorie-dense and sugar-concentrated, causing the same metabolic stress as candy. A handful of dates may feel innocent, but for the body, it is equal to spoonfuls of syrup. The seventh is oranges in juice form. Whole oranges are protective, but orange juice, even fresh squeezed, removes fiber and floods the blood with sugar. I remind my patients, chew your oranges, don't drink them. The eighth is canned fruits in syrup. These often contain added sugars, preservatives, and sometimes BPA from the can lining. A 67-year-old woman once said she ate canned peaches daily, because that's what her mother did. But what her mother ate decades ago is not what is sold today. Modern cans carry chemicals her mother never faced. The ninth is cherries in pie filling or syrups. Fresh cherries can heal, but processed cherry fillings are chemical cocktails. Sugar, corn syrup, dyes that overwhelm the body. I tell my patients the fruit itself heals, but the factory version harms. The 10th is fruit smoothies from cafes or bottled brands. Many of these are marketed as health drinks, but they often contain hidden sugars, concentrates, and stabilizers that do more harm than good. One woman told me she drank a green smoothie every morning, only to discover it had more sugar than a soda. Now let us talk about the vegetables you must be careful with. I know this part may shock you because many of these are the very foods people believe are healthy. But for women over 50 who want to lower their risk of breast cancer, knowledge is power. And removing the wrong vegetables can protect your body more than you realize. The first is corn. Once a natural crop, but today most corn in America is genetically modified and sprayed with pesticides. It is also high in sugar, which fuels inflammation. Popcorn at night may feel harmless, but for many women it is quietly creating problems. The second is white potatoes. Unlike sweet potatoes, these spike blood sugar quickly, feeding cancer cells with excess glucose. Baked, mashed, or fried, it makes no difference. If you want protection, it is better to leave them behind. The third is processed pickles and jarred vegetables. Traditional fermentation is medicine, but store-bought pickles often contain nitrates, dyes, and chemicals that add stress to the body. What looks like a crunchy snack can become a slow toxin. The fourth is eggplant. This nightshade vegetable contains solanine, which can worsen inflammation for women with arthritis or autoimmune conditions. Some women notice more joint pain after eating it, and inflammation is a key driver of cancer risk. The fifth is green peppers. Like eggplant, they are nightshades and also among the most pesticide-contaminated vegetables in America. Unless grown organic, they may deliver more chemicals than nutrients. The sixth is canned tomatoes. Fresh or home-cooked tomatoes are healing, but canned versions are often lined with BPA, a chemical that mimics estrogen in the body and can overstimulate breast tissue. Always choose fresh or glass-stored tomatoes instead. The seventh is celery, when conventionally grown. Celery itself is healing, but it is one of the most pesticide-heavy crops in America. Many of my patients think celery juice detoxes the body, when in reality it may be flooding them with toxins if not organic. The eighth is bagged spinach. Spinach is powerful, but pre-washed and packaged versions are sprayed with preservatives to keep them green longer. These residues can burden the liver and reduce the very protection spinach is meant to give. The ninth is frozen French fries or vegetable snacks. They may say made from vegetables on the package, but they are usually fried in unhealthy oils and filled with additives. Instead of healing, they inflame the body. The 10th is soy-based fake vegetables. Things like soy nuggets, soy patties, or soy hot dogs disguised as healthy alternatives. In Japan, we eat natural fermented soy like miso or natto. But heavily processed soy in America can overstimulate estrogen receptors in breast tissue. If soy does not look like soybeans, it does not belong in your diet. Thank you for watching until the end. Remember, I'm sharing this knowledge as education only. It is not medical advice, and it should never replace the guidance of your own doctor. Every person's health is unique, so please speak with your healthcare provider before making any changes to your diet or lifestyle. All scientific references and supporting studies are linked in the description below for you to explore. If you found this helpful, please give this video a like, share it with another woman who may need this message, and subscribe so you don't miss the next episode. And tell me in the comments, which of these fruits or vegetables surprised you the most? Your story may inspire someone else. Subscribe for more, and thanks for watching.